Hello and welcome to Thrive, everybody. I'm Anna Kennedy, and today I'm very, very excited because I've got two very special guests coming in. Shannon from Pure Good. Pure Good is a health-conscious passion project driven by MasterChef SA finalist Shannon Smuts. And then we've got the lovely Tina joining us from Tzu Chi, which is a Buddhist passion relief foundation. Tzu Chi literally translates into compassionate relief.
Yeah, I think I'm an entrepreneur by nature, but at my heart, I'm a humanitarian. So knowing that I had these kitchens, knowing I had the ability to provide food for feeding schemes, and I just couldn't sit down at home. So basically just trying to provide meals that are going to help, everybody that is receiving them to manage this pandemic that's coming through, and still sticking within our value system.
And just looking at the food parcels, it's 15,000 bags of food parcels being given out since the COVID-19. And this is actually from the local donors in South Africa, Black, white, Indian, anyone who hear our story and donated this money.
So when kindness like this does happen, it is so worth acknowledging and celebrating people like you and your organizations, because so many people don't know how to help, or they feel stuck. And actually, sometimes it's as simple as saying, okay, this is the solution, get hold of this person. The human spirit, I don't think there's ever been such a global show of love and compassion in the history of our planet. Hello and welcome to Thrive, everybody. I'm Susana Kennedy, and today we are talking about my passion. So I started a new slot on Thrive, which basically celebrates people and things that I think bring light and love and happiness to this world. And today I'm very, very excited because I've got two very special guests coming in. Shannon from Pure Good. Pure Good is a health-conscious passion project driven by MasterChef SA finalist Shannon Smuts. It's a corporate cafe serving healthy food to happy people. But the thing about Shannon is that she also does so much work in communities, in helping uplift people. And I've been following her now for years, and I just absolutely love the work that she's doing. And then we've got the lovely Tina joining us from Tzu Chi, which is a Buddhist passion relief foundation. Tzu Chi literally translates into compassionate relief, which isn't that title just absolutely heartwarming? It's a humanitarian organization, and they've got branches all over the world. When I was trying to find which Tzu Chi to connect with, I was so glad that they had South Africa, because they literally are all over the world doing the most incredible work. And how I connected with these two incredible women, I just want to tell you before I welcome them onto the show, is, as you guys know, I have my community center in Gugulethu that I support. It's called Pakama Community Center, and they feed between 150 and 300 destitute people every day. And with the COVID came a real upheaval because of the sanitary implications, because of social distancing and all of this. But the reality was that they had people to feed. So we had to close down the creche, which has been built for the community members. We had to close down all the support groups, which they have to support abuse victims, people who are unwell. All of those things were shut down, but we knew that the food had to be delivered to the people because people are starving. And I reached out to lovely Shannon, and I was like, I need to get food in there. I need to help them. And Shannon was amazing. She came back to me within a couple of days, and she said, I've got the answer for you. And that's where Tina stepped in. And so welcome, wonderful, wonderful Tina Long and Shannon. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It is such an honor and a privilege to have you guys here. How are you both doing?
Hi, Susana. Thank you so much first for having us on the show. It's when you explain like how we all connect to each other, it really does, amidst all this chaos that's going on, it makes me feel really positive about, I don't know, humankind, that we can connect so quickly and across so many different borders and, be able to help each other out as best as we can, just those that are trying their best.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that for me has really stood out. Although there's been so much fear that has been going on and there has been pain and loss, the human spirit, I don't think there's ever been such a global show of love and compassion in the history of our planet, where human beings have truly come together to help and support each other. And Tina, you have been right at the forefront of that. So welcome to you. How are you doing today?
Well, thanks, Susana, for having us on the show. No, exactly like what I just want to echo what you guys have been saying and reaffirm it by, we've since the COVID-19, we've given out 200 tons of rice throughout the nation. And that's just since the beginning of COVID-19. That's not even before that. And these rice are from Taiwan, actually. So really the humanitarian work that Tzu Chi is doing in South Africa is really transcends race, religious belief and cultural background. And it's international work. And these funders in Taiwan donated these rice and we, shipped them to South Africa. And then since then, we've given out 200 tons. And it's not just the rice, that's been given out. And the PPE is also being in bit of a dire need in South Africa at the moment. And then just the stats that I got, I mean, we've given out about 64,000 units of PPE since the beginning of COVID, which is really trying to protect our medical workers, but also farmers, that's so critical to us right now. And they are also at the risk of being infected, being at work. And they also need PPE.
So for the listeners who don't know what PPE is, won't you just clarify for them?
It's personal protective equipment. So this includes medical masks or cloth masks or medical gloves and isolation gowns. And we really keep the isolation gowns for the medical workers. But some of the cloth masks we give to the farmers as well to keep them safe, to make sure that we have constant and enough food supply, which is also critical.
So the first time these two, you guys to understand, they were putting together food parcels and we first got 150 and then 250. But what that resulted in is 2 to 3 weeks of feeding the people that come to Pacama. So although it seems like a little bit to some people, it literally fed a community for 2 to 3 weeks. So I just want to acknowledge you and sorry, I get emotional, but thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's made such a massive, massive difference. And I'm sure you're encountering this on a daily basis.
You're going to make us cry. Stop it.
Sorry, it's just, I know this community and they really are filled with genuine people that care and really are doing everything they can to help. And so when kindness like this does happen, it is so worth acknowledging and celebrating people like you and your organizations, because so many people don't know how to help or they feel stuck. And actually, sometimes it's as simple as saying, okay, this is the solution. Get hold of this person. If you don't have money, you can give some of your time. You don't, so I think that's my next point. How can people support both of you? And maybe we start with you, Tina, because you're already there, and then Shannon will go on to you. But how can people support what you are doing?
Susana, I think just by having us on the show and giving Tzu Chi South Africa a bit of airtime really helped us a lot. Tzu Chi South Africa has been established since 1989, but it was started from a group of Taiwanese immigrants in South Africa with very little English, with pidgin English. They just do whatever they can to start this organization, and to put them on, and they've been around for 31 years. But being on the social media, I mean, it's unheard of for them. They come from a different generation. So I really appreciate this airtime, just to putting us on the map and to let more people know about Tzu Chi South Africa. It's just very humbling experience. So thank you very much. If they also want to further support Tzu Chi South Africa, they can visit us on Facebook. There's a Tzu Chi South Africa group as well. Please like or follow them. There's a lot of activities that's going on, and we often reach out for help. And just looking at the food parcels, it's 15,000 bags of food parcels being given out since the COVID-19. And this is actually from the local donors in South Africa, Black, White, Indian, anyone who hear our story and donated this money. And I have a personal online e-commerce site as well that I sell these food parcels, and people really, really come through and they really respond. It's just amazing and very humbling to see. Thank you.
Well, it's absolutely the least that I could do. And I so appreciate it. And you've just touched on something, and you've done it twice now, that I've reiterated a number of times. And, although people are suffering, there's such a beautiful transformation that's happening. The divide between people is diminishing. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are, your political views are. We are human. And there's something so beautiful about the stripping away of that divide that has been coming into being because of this COVID. So although there are so many negative things, I think that is one of the greatest gifts that this planet can be experiencing right now. And especially at tough times like this, we know what's going on in America, and we know there's so many things happening. But if we can focus on the fact that we are all human and support each other and hear each other and listen to each other, that's the most important thing. Shan, I'm going to come to you now. Please do share how people can help you in your organization.
So for those listening, I've got a contract catering company called Pure Good Food. So we do in-office meals, and obviously with the lockdown and working from home, we didn't have any trade, and I think I'm an entrepreneur by nature, but at my heart, I'm a humanitarian. So knowing that I had these kitchens, knowing I had the ability to provide food for feeding schemes, and I just couldn't sit down at home. So luckily, Tzu, which is my biggest corporate that we feed, opened up their kitchen for us. And since the second week of lockdown, we've been making about 2,500 meals a week that are going to different feeding schemes. We use only Mtunzi farming community organic veg, so we're keeping the supply chain going and making sure that the farmers aren't left in vulnerable situations. And we're sticking to our company's ethos of really healthy and attainable food. So we set up a fundraising platform on Howler, and we've costed our meals at around 20 Rand a meal. We use only free-range meat. They're high protein, organic veg, packed full of antioxidants, packed full of immune-boosting things like loads of ginger and garlic and turmeric, and basically just trying to provide meals that are going to help everybody that is receiving them to manage this pandemic that's coming through, and still sticking within our value system. And so people can go onto our website, which is puregood.co.za, or onto the Howler platform and just search for Pure Good. We've got a Feed the People platform. You can buy vouchers to feed 1 or 10 or 20 or 100. And it links to international payments as well, if people from overseas. And mainly, I think the message we're trying to share is that even if you don't have money to donate, people are really feeling the pinch now. If you don't have 20 Rand, you don't have 100 Rand, that's okay. Just share, as what Tina was saying. Just go and like the page, share what they're doing, expose the people that are doing the hard work out there to others that might be able to contribute, and connect. I know a lot of people, we received what we were doing was received well because our network knew me and they knew exactly where the food was going. So they could see immediately, I donated today, and on Friday off it went, and there it is being fed to the kids in Site C Khayelitsha. But bigger schemes, sometimes I think people lose the tangibility of their donation. And so there's a lot of us out there that are doing our best, and And so the support is, obviously monetary is what is needed, but also to just share and offer assistance and guidance, and even just a kind word. A lot of people are really feeling the emotional effects of doing this type of stuff for the last, 9 or so weeks. So yeah, donations always welcome, and then just sharing and connecting. The people, other feeding schemes are desperate for people to come and help out. Chop veggies, peel carrots. We unfortunately are in a very strict lockdown corporate environment, so we can't have extra hands. But there's always call outs for people at soup kitchens, ladles of love. Plenty of ways to get involved.
I love that, and I think the fact that you said, like, simply liking, commenting, those sorts of things, they make a difference, because they're encouraging, and sometimes when you're working so hard, I know I have been doing different work to what you guys have been working, but I've been doing different work trying to keep people focused on the light and not focusing, on the darkness, because I truly believe that the wolf you feed is the wolf that grows, and there are gifts in all of this. And if we can focus on the good that is coming out of this, that is what is going to grow. It is essential for us all as human beings right now to focus on the good and the light and growing that. I've got some lovely comments coming through. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. From Yasha and Brett. Is saying, well done to all of you. Most incredible things you do. Thank God for people like you. Wishing you continued success and would love to contribute. So please do let me know how I can. I definitely will. Lots of people putting hugs and hearts coming up on my screen. So just my deepest, heartfelt thank you to you guys and to your teams. I know that you're the front people, but as always, it takes a village really to create change. And there's always an incredible team behind, an organization that actually keeps things going. I don't know if you guys have seen, but at 11 o'clock every morning, because 11 a.m. in South Africa is the time that the most people in the world are at the same time. So I know in different countries, people have been singing and blowing vuvuzelas and saying thank you in the evening at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in different countries. But I've started something at 11 o'clock in South African time, GMT +2, because the most people in the world are awake. And I thought, how wonderful if we can all say thank you and just create a vibration of joy and gratitude at the same time, the most people in the world. And if every country did it on the hour at 11 o'clock, that would literally start transforming the vibration on the entire planet. So please do share that with your friends.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yes, the butterfly effect. Exactly. And Tina, is there anything you would like to add before I let you go?
No, I just want to say hi to your listeners, and then just reiterate that, Tzu Chi South Africa, the Facebook site really needs your support. They really need to connect a lot more. We need to reach out more to the ground instead of getting our donations from Taiwan and all over the world. We really like to connect with the South African people as well. And I think that's something that we need to work a lot harder on social media, and changing the perception that it's a Taiwanese organization, but we can turn into a originated in Taiwan organization, but we now localized. And that's our big goal. So thank you for having us. And giving us a voice.
Such a pleasure. And Shannon, is there something else that you would like to add before I let you go?
No, not at all. Just again, same message as Tina, just keep the support up. And like I said, there's no act is too small, just sharing it or passing it on to your family or friends, or, if this resonates with you, then share the story. It's that power of connectivity and passing things on and paying it forward that's really going to make the difference, I think, in the long run. So thank you again for having us on here and giving us a voice.
Absolutely a pleasure. So for all of you listening, whether you're listening live, whether you're listening to a recording of this, the invitation is to share this post far and wide. I will put the contact details so that you can make a donation. But even if you can't make a donation, a wonderful comment, a like, a love, a share, those things count. And just tag people in the comments below. If you think that they would benefit from this, this is really about raising the vibration of love, and contributing to the planet in a positive way. So share this post, tag people below, and let's just share this wonderful work that these two women and their organizations are doing. And I thank you all so much for tuning in today. Thank you to my guests, and thank you all for listening.